Hello, hello. It is the 6th of February, meaning it is the 6th day of Black History Month, and for today I wanted to talk about the cultural significance of chitlins. Now, I'll be the first to admit that I don't see these being as big of a staple as they used to be nowadays, but that's to be expected considering what they are. But I still do know plenty of people who still enjoy this, me being included. Now, I've heard these being pronounced in different ways, but they're pronounced chitlins when I was growing up, so that's what I'm going to call them. And this is a very, very big Southern food still, from what I understand, which makes sense because this was invented in the South. Now, this is definitely in the soul food category, considering its origins. Now, when it came to enslavement, the enslaved got what they were given, which most of the time wasn't quality food. It was the parts of the animal that were deemed to be the garbage parts that the, people who owned other human beings didn't, think was good enough for them to eat. So that meant that enslaved Africans had to get extremely creative, and thus the invention of chitlins. Now, if you don't know what chitlins are, they are pig intestine. You do have to clean them before cooking, and they don't yield the best smell in the world. I'll admit that. As someone who's eaten many batches of chitlins, I will admit that the prep and smell aren't exactly the best. Not to mention, a lot of times you do all that work only for your chitlins to sort of boil down to nothing. And if you were in my family and grandma made chitlins, you were fighting. It was like literal Thunderdome stuff for that last plate of chitlins. But this dish that was originally a slave food became enjoyed by Black people and white people alike when it caught on in popularity because it was that good. It actually was a rather tasty dish, and I still do rather enjoy these. As I said, I understand if others are not crazy about this. Some of my Black friends, when I tell them I still eat this, are like, why? I understand. But with all that being said, love them or hate them, chitlins are definitely immortalized permanently in the Black community. This is proof that even in the hardest of times, resilience can bring about something beautiful. Chitlins is, to me, still a very tasty dish. If you disagree, that's perfectly fine, but I love the cultural significance this dish actually plays. It was a literal slave food that is still celebrated, and I think needs to continue to be celebrated. That's why I felt like chitlins really needed a spot in Black History Month to be recognized, because they are a significant part of Black culture. Whether you love them or hate them, they still are a massive part of Black history. Our ancestors came up with this food in harsh and hard environments, still making something tasty people could eat, despite the fact that they weren't given much to work with. This dish is proof of resilience and having grit. I hope you guys enjoyed this little homage to chitlins. Happy Black History Month.